Hey everyone, welcome! So today we're going to dive into one of the most common and, let's be real, often frustrating parts of work, the meeting. But we're not here to complain. Nope. We're here to explore how meetings are being completely transformed, moving from all those scattered sticky notes to some seriously intelligent AI-driven collaboration. All right, let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? I mean, you're an hour in, the whiteboard is just a complete mess of scribbles, maybe one person has dominated the entire conversation, and you are no closer to a decision than when you walked in the door. It's something we've all felt. But what if there was a way better way?
Okay, so at the very heart of any good meeting is a good facilitator. You can think of them as the conductor of conversations. See, their job isn't just to watch the clock. It's to guide a group through a really complex discussion and get them to a clear, actionable result. And let me tell you, that is a huge challenge.
So what's the secret sauce here? Well, it really just boils down to these three things. A great facilitator first creates a logical structure for the whole conversation. Then, they have to actively encourage participation, making sure every single voice gets heard. And, maybe most importantly, they deliver outcomes. They turn all of that talk into actual, concrete next steps.
For decades, the facilitator's world has looked, pretty much the same. It's been a very manual, very analog process that I'm sure we all recognize, built on a familiar set of tools.
And here it is, the classic toolkit. Flip charts, markers, and of course, the almighty sticky note. These tools are super familiar, but they come with this hidden cost. A massive amount of time-consuming, manual work to make sense of everything after the meeting is already over. And this is where the real problems creep in. The loudest voices can easily drown out quieter, sometimes more brilliant ideas. Groupthink kind of takes over, and real creativity just gets stifled. And the whole time, the facilitator is just scrambling, trying to write everything down, knowing that turning it all into something useful later is going to take hours, if not days.
But what if the facilitator didn't have to do all that alone? What if they had a partner, one that was designed to handle all the busy work so they could focus on the people? Well, this is where things get really interesting. This is where we introduce the AI co-facilitator.
And this is the absolute key to understanding this whole thing. This is not about replacing the human touch. Not at all. It's about augmenting it. The AI handles the tedious part, the paperwork, so the human facilitator can focus entirely on the people in the room, on the dynamics, the nuances, and that human connection.
Okay, so check this out. This chart really lays it all out, side by side. On the left, you've got the traditional facilitator, just bogged down with manual notes and that long synthesis process after the fact. But on the right, with an AI assistant, they're free to focus on the people. Ideas get clustered in real time, input is way more inclusive, and detailed reports are generated automatically. I mean, it's a night and day difference, isn't it? Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this actually look like when the rubber hits the road? Let's explore how this human-AI partnership can supercharge one of the most common meeting types, the good old brainstorming session.
So let's start with a really powerful technique called silent ideation. Its main goal is to solve that age-old problem of groupthink, where pretty much everyone just latches on to the first or loudest idea that gets shared.
Here's how it works. First, everyone submits their ideas on their own, silently, without being influenced by anyone else. As those ideas are coming in, the AI is already working in the background, grouping them into logical themes. So by the time the group actually starts talking, they're not looking at some random, chaotic list. They're looking at organized, coherent clusters of thought. The discussion basically starts on level 10 instead of level 0.
Okay, so you've got all your great ideas clustered and organized. But are they any good? Are they bulletproof? Well, now we got to stress test them.
And this is so cool. This is where the AI becomes more than just an organizer. It becomes a strategic partner. Instead of the facilitator having to play devil's advocate, the AI can just inject a what-if scenario right into the discussion. Something like, stress test assumption, what if this timeline slips by 30%? That one little question totally changes the conversation and forces the team to think about risks and get ready for uncertainty, making the final outcome so much stronger. So when you put all these pieces together, what you get isn't just a slightly better meeting. It's a fundamentally new blueprint for how we collaborate and how we make decisions together.
So what this all boils down to is this. We're finally achieving those 3 goals of great facilitation, but totally amplified. By encouraging that silent individual input, meetings become way more inclusive. By clustering ideas in real time, they become vastly more efficient. And with automated reports,
the outcomes are more insight-rich and ready to act on, like immediately.
And that really leaves us with a pretty big, exciting question. We spend so much of our collective brain power just trying to run effective meetings. When we solve that, when collaboration becomes this seamless and efficient, what new, bigger, more complex problems will we be able to tackle next? That's a future that's pretty exciting to think about.